How did someone like me so bad get such a good girl? Such a good girl. Yeah, you're a good girl.
Hey YouTube, it's the Pied Piper. This video has been a long time coming. It should have been up around Labor Day weekend or somewhere soon after that, but I was slacking on my pimping and didn't put it up. But this is Adventures in Dating #2, and I'm filming it on my phone, so if it's jiggly or moves a lot, that's why. I have notes, so if I look down, that's why I'm looking away from the camera. It's because I have notes on it, because it kind of follows a progression of time, how this date even came into being. And I'd like to call this date, this Adventures in Dating, in the woods. And I'll put the words up there. It'll be there. Through the magic of crappy editing, it will be there. So this date actually took place in Williams, Arizona, which, for those of you who don't know, that's like 2.5 hours away from where I am right now. It's not going to seem like a date because I took my friend and her kids with me. And not my kids, but I took my friend and her kids with me because her son's birthday just happened to coincide with that, and she couldn't do anything with him for his birthday, so we thought, since I was going to do this weird date, that would be a good thing, you know, to have them along for. So that's what we ended up doing, is taking them, which is why you'll see in the pictures that I put up with this that we're in the woods and there's kids there. And then the guy I went on a date with, we will call him Mr. R, because I'm not going to release his name, because 1, still dating him. 2, I don't want to put him out there on blast like that, but I'm going to put his picture up, so when I decide to say his name, you'll be the first to know. So, for future reference, Mr. R is date guy, and Mr. R is also who gave me this necklace, which I believe I had in my outfit of the day. So anyway, I actually met Mr. R online, and I'm not going to say where, but we met online, and we ended up emailing each other back and forth from, it started on August 19th, is when our little communication started. And when I say we emailed, like, we took emailing to an extreme that's unhealthy. Like, we used it like text messaging. We emailed every couple minutes, every day, all day long, starting on August 19th. The emailing progressed to texting probably like a week after. We ended up meeting initially online, and then we texted all day, every day, and we actually had set up a date before to meet up, and some of his friends were, I guess, having a party near where I was going to be that weekend, and so we were going to meet and just kind of do no pressure, just show up and meet, and I was going to bring one of my friends, but he douched out, and he douched out. When I say douche, I mean he was a douchebag. Totally turned me off, but he called me that night and was like, oh yeah, I'm still excited to meet you, and then progressively got flakier and flakier and was like, oh, well, we can't meet because this party's wild. I don't want you here. It's like, whatever. And then I was like, oh, like, I've never been to a wild party, whatever. So then he was like, I said, fine, well, I'm not far from you, so why don't you go up to, like, the gas station or something? I'm sure you need to go anyway. Why don't you go up there, and I can just meet you there, and me and my friend are out anyways, and we're all dressed up with no place to go, so let's just meet up there. It'd be really simple. And he was like, okay, that sounds great. Then time passes, I don't hear from him, and he ends up saying, oh, I'm trying to find somebody who's sober to drive me up there. I'm like, okay. So he never ends up doing that, and he does like a million excuses. And so I was just kind of frustrated and like, okay, this guy, I was seriously thinking this guy was like Quasimodo type of ugly. Like bell tower living, sack wearing, Quasimodo unattractive, and maybe that's why he didn't want to see me. Even though through our text messages that we had done, like 2 weeks previous to this day, that day, we had done text messaging, and he text messaged me pictures of himself, but as you all know, you can be anybody on the internet, and you can send pictures to people that are not you. So I thought maybe that's what he did, because he would not meet me. And so he just kept having these excuses, all these excuses for why we couldn't meet that night. Then finally he's like, okay, because I was getting pissed off, and I was kind of being like, whatever, and I was being really short with my text messages, and so he's like, okay, fine, we can meet, come up here, we'll meet here. So he doesn't end up, like, so I say, okay, fine, and I actually was kind of a douchebag myself, because I was like, fine, I'm like right around the corner. I wasn't at the time, but I said that because I knew, and my friend was like, he's so playing games, so if you tell him that you're around the corner, he's just not going to get back to you. And lo and behold, he did not. He never got back to me, he never told me where he was, and so I was pissed. I was really pissed, and really didn't plan on talking to him again. I, like, deleted his number from my phone, and was just like, whatever, dude, like, this guy's a flake. Clearly, he's probably, like, you know, so yucky and misrepresented himself, and even though his personality was cool through texting, and we did end up talking on the phone, I forgot to mention. We actually did do, like, a lot of talking on the phone, like, all hours of the night. I mean, we took it to high school level, you know, when you are on the phone with somebody all night long. Of course, we weren't, like, listening to each other breathe or anything. We actually talked, but I mean, we talked about everything. Childhoods, where we are now in life, what life's been like. I mean, literally, we talked every talk that you should have with someone. And I really was attracted to him as far as I knew, you know, without seeing him. I was attracted as much as you can be without seeing somebody in person. So it was kind of like being attracted to, like, a character in a book, almost. Because he's got all these great qualities, but he's still just, like, so intangible, or incorporeal, even better. He just didn't exist on a real level, and I just wanted to meet him so that we could at least meet and have that real connection, even if it was just really quick, just to be like, I'm really who I say I am, you're really who you say you are. But he flaked out on that. But then he texted me the next day, was like, you know, I'm sorry for being a douchebag, and I had deleted his number on my phone, because I was just like, whatever, I don't care, like, if you're this way now, like, what's to say you're not going to be this way? So, we ended up talking after that, and he was like, really, I'm not a douchebag, it's just, I know it seems bad, but he just had some scheduling conflicts, and he really didn't want me to meet him the way he was, because he'd been drinking, and I don't know. There was excuses, and so I still call him the king of excuses, because he can come up with some shit. It's really impressive. And sorry for the S-bomb, but I cuss, so you're gonna have to cope with that. And so, anyway, he throws out a wild idea, like, a couple days later. Like, we're still talking on the phone and stuff, and I'm giving him another chance, kind of, and we're talking on the phone, and so I tell him, like, he throws out the idea of, like, hey, well, Labor Day weekend, I'm going camping with a friend of mine and his family. Do you want to come? And my first thought was, oh my God, this guy is going to murder me and ditch my body somewhere in the woods. Like, that's what I was thinking. Like, he's going to bury me in the woods. Like, this has serial killer written all over it. So I'm freaking out, like, okay, this guy's going to murder me. I know he's going to murder me. I don't want to go camping with him. Like, I was so turned off by that idea. And we joked about it. It's really bad. And, because I was thinking, like, yeah, this ish is very weird. Like, what girl is turned on or even partly enticed by a guy who says, like, hey, baby, so I know we haven't met before, but I want to take you in the woods. And it's deep in the woods. You may not have ever been there before, with some friends you don't know, and a person you don't know, or never met in person, but I would like to take you there for the first time we meet. I was, of course, really, really, really hesitant, and like, no, I'm not going to do that at all. And, but, you know, I had some shit going on in my personal life, and kind of needed to get away anyways, and sorry if you can see hands, but I'm adjusting the camera. So I had some shit going on in my personal life, and my friend, you know, couldn't afford really to do anything for her son's birthday, and so, but I didn't bring this up to her at first. I was thinking, okay, to kind of level the playing field, I was like, if you're really who you say you are or whatever, then let's meet up and I'll drive you out to where you're going and then I'll bounce. And, I mean, I really didn't think it was going to pan out, so I didn't worry too much about it. I was like, whatever, this isn't going to pan out, and I figured he'd flake again. But it ended up going where he was like, okay, like, he was down with that. And so he's like, I just really want to meet you. And so, okay, fine. So I mentioned that to my friend, like, that night we're talking on the phone. And when I say friend, it's the chick from the best friend tag. And I'll put up pictures here. You'll see a picture of where we went, somewhere around here. Or here. Or here. And, so we ended up going, and we ended up just saying, okay, if push comes to shove, we're just not even, we'll just bounce and go camping, at least take her boys and go camping somewhere else, and it'd be fine. So, that's what we decided, because we're rebels. This is, like, such a risk. I'm not even gonna lie. It's such a risk, and I don't advise ever taking a risk like this unless you're way more sure than I was that the person is who they say they are. But my friend's also the shit, so I was like, okay, she'll kill a man if she needs to. So I felt a little bit more comfortable, and we did actually meet up at a bank to all they travel through where we were anyway, so it was actually a perfect plan. So we met up at a bank, and I wore cute overalls, and I wish I could show you, and I'll probably do, like, an outfit recap, or, like, construct the outfit that I wore, because it was so cute. But anyway, we went there, we met up, and he was who he said he was, so I was shocked. I was like, okay, he's as cute as he is. So, and I'll show you a picture of him, Mr. R, now, or now, or how about here? And so, he ends up, so Mr. R, he's adorable. At least I think so. And he's like 6'1". He's got like navy blue eyes, which is dope. And like light brown hair. And he's from New Jersey. And he's got this cute New Jersey accent that I just love, but he hides. Whatever. Anyway, so we end up driving up there. And I'm like the world's worst driver. And it takes us forever to get up there. But we go. And everything seems cool. We end up talking, but not that much, because I have my friend, her kids, her 2 sons, and him all in my Chrysler Cirrus, which is a 4-door sedan. Not the biggest car in the world. I'm driving slow. We're, like, losing his friend because we're supposed to be following them. I knew I was not making a good appearance. It wasn't a good look that I was, like, old lady driving this whole time. But we talked, and he was normal and the same as he was online and through all of our texting and all of our conversations. He was the exact same guy, so that was helpful. We got camping, and after a little rocky start, the camping turned good. His friends had gone to bed early, and so me and my friend actually only planned to stay one night. So we got there we left on Friday the 31st of August to go there, and then her and I left on the 1st, the night of, like, early evening of the 1st, and he stayed all till Memorial Day, or not Memorial Day, why do I always get those days confused? He stayed till Labor Day, and then left that on Monday, the 3rd of September, so, that ended up going well. We actually got drunk. Well, we didn't get drunk. My friend ended up getting wasted, and he was so sweet. He put her to bed, and that kind of showed me a little bit of his character, because he, like, picked her up and was very stern, and, I know a lot of you know I like a very dominant, like a manly man, and he, like, was stern about it, and, like, picked her up, and put her to bed in her tent, and it was really sweet and cute, and that kind of endeared me to him, because I was shocked. Nobody has ever taken care of me like that when I was drunk. Usually I'm the chick you see crawling home. So, and he helped her out. And so that was, like, major points, the fact that he was so cool to my friend. And he was so cool with her kids, and And my friend's sort of independent, so, you know, we had our own little camp set up a little bit away from theirs because we didn't want to be like a burden, because they had only planned for just the 3 of them, because it was his friend and his friend's wife and then his friend's son. So it was them and then him. So there was 4 of them, and we didn't want to impose, so we really tried to, like, buy our own stuff, and, like, and then the next day, him and I, Mr. R, did go for a walk, and we talked more, and, you know, like, we didn't do the dip, nobody worry, no dip happened, but it was awesome. And so that's the story of the dating and the camping, and I'll insert pictures of the camping. So it was fun, and I'm still dating Mr. R, actually, and so that's going good. He's awesome. Okay, so that's it for this installation of Adventures in Dating Into the Woods. Dun dun dun. And I hope you liked it, and it wasn't too all over the place. I'm trying to cut these videos way down. But I'm going to take you on this journey with Mr. R, and you're going to see it from start to finish, whatever that finish might be. So, be looking for those, and I will be vlogging this weekend, so if he's here this weekend, you'll get to see that too, and you'll get to meet him and all that is the awesomeness of Mr. R. And you can tell me what you think, and leave your comments and suggestions for other videos and whatnot below, and I will catch up with you guys in the next week. Like I said, be looking for a vlog, and I'll be doing outfits of the day and all that same stuff I normally do. So just be looking for those, and I will attach my Twitter, my website, and I'll see you later. Bye, YouTube peaches.
This ain't for the good girls going bad. This one's for the bad girls trying to go good. Yeah. How did someone like